Hi, I'm here to answer the question for you of why can't I be grateful? Every time that something tragic happens, you lose someone you love, you get divorced, you lose a job, the buzzword now is just be grateful and learn how to be grateful. Start a gratitude journal. And it's hard to be grateful or to even think about being grateful when you feel so awful. If you've lost someone that you love, if you don't have your baby, if you're suffering from something that you feel like life has done to you, and you're saying to yourself, why me? And why did this happen to me? Why does this happen at all? It's hard. It's hard to find gratitude, and it's hard to be grateful. And the irony with all of it is that gratitude is exactly what you do need. But I think sometimes, gratitude has become a bit of a buzzword. People are throwing it out there like, hey, just have a gratitude practice, just be grateful, find gratitude. And I don't think it's that simple. I think that when it comes to grieving and overcoming loss, that you need to acknowledge that there's work that's involved. This isn't something that you just, you snap your fingers and it's over. But in that same vein, it doesn't mean that you can't do the work. It doesn't mean that you can't get through it. And so I believe that you need to put in the work. And I think sometimes when people say, like, I need to heal, I need to do something, a lot of times people think, well, I just need to go to therapy and I just need to talk it out. And while I think that helps, and I definitely agree with talking it out, I also think that there's things that you can do personally, work that you can put in to help you with all of that. And so one of those things, is gratitude. And so I was one of the people who was like, okay, I hear all this stuff about gratitude, and I tried it for like 3 days, and then I forgot about it. And, because you're supposed to write down 3 things that you're grateful for every day. And so I'd do it for a couple days, and then I'd let it go, and then I'd do it for another 2 days, and then I'd forget about it for a week, and then I'd be like, oh man, I meant to do that. So what I want to share with you is basically, what I'm doing personally in the space of gratitude. And if you want to do it as well, I want to give you tools, right? That's what I do, is I want to give you the things that I use to help me on this journey of life. And I wish that someone had shared this with me much earlier in my grief process. And so that's part of the reason why I do these videos. So this book here is called I Choose Joy. And it's from Danelle Delgado, and she is a mentor that I've been following for over a year now. And what she talks about, and it's great because the journal has instructions in the beginning, right? So it puts you in a place, in a framework, so that you know what you're doing. But then if you look at it, every day there are spots for 10 things that you're grateful for, 3 goals that you have, and then something that you're learning. So what she calls with this is gratitude, growth, goals, and then we've added grace in the year that I've trained with her. And so it's almost like maybe put grace at the beginning when it comes to grief, because you got to give yourself a break. You got to give yourself some grace and say, I don't know how to do this thing. I don't like feeling awful. I don't want to feel terrible every day. And sometimes, grief, the emotions of grief, take over your entire life. And make it so you don't know who you are anymore, and you don't think that you're ever going to be happy again. And I think that the practice of gratitude, and I use the word practice very carefully because it's something that you need to train your body to do. You need to train your mind to do, and this is the first step, is having the book. So when you get a gratitude journal, the goal should be is not to take it lightly and to say, this is something that I'm committing to. This is designed, the reason why the book is so big is it's designed for 365 days. So you can, the goal is to do it every day for 365 days. And, you know, it says here on the top, it's the daily gratitude practice that will transform your life. And here's the thing, it has transformed my life. I continue to remind myself how important it is, because sometimes we think that we don't need it. We think we're okay. We think, you know, we're too busy. There's too much going on. It's not really that important. Well, it is. And gratitude absolutely will transform your life. And I think, especially when you're grieving, it's the place to go. And it's something that you can do. So, I also listened to Joe Dispenza. I really like him. You can find him all over YouTube as well. But what he teaches is, when he talks about gratitude, gratitude is receiving. So when you're writing in your gratitude journal, you're writing down all of the things that you already have, the things that you can remind yourself, this I do have. So you're not so stuck in the loss. Right? So even though you've lost your loved one, you've lost your baby, you're suffering from infertility, you know, miscarried, and you don't know whether or not you're ever going to be pregnant again, no matter where you are in any of that. The practice of gratitude is reminding yourself in those moments what you do have. And so acknowledging the things that are in your life that are still okay puts you in a different frame of mind. And it takes you from the perspective of thinking only about the things that you don't have, the loss and the hurt and the pain and what you wish you had and the things that you wanted and the things that you're now missing out on because your son, your daughter's not with you, all of that. But what you can do is you can shift it. And you can say, yes, you're not discounting any of it, because that is always going to be there, right? You're always going to be sad that they're not with you. You're always going to wish that you had more time. You're always going to wish that you could hold them, that you could hug them, that you could talk to them one more time. But you can shift to gratitude and you can say, well, what can I be grateful for? And if you think about it specifically with your loved one, and you know, I go back to my son Jackson and I say, well, what can I be grateful for? I'm grateful for the 6 weeks I had him. I'm grateful for the way that I felt during the pregnancy. I'm grateful now that I didn't give up and I have another son who lights up my life and makes me so proud. I'm grateful for, you know, my ex-husband who's given me 3 little boys to love. And that I know that love, and I'm a mother. And I'm so grateful for that. And you can go on and on and on, and you can be grateful for the people who are around, right? Not the people who said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing, but the people who showed up for you. And I hope you have at least one of those people in your life. Because that is a gift, and that is something that they're giving to you and that you can receive. And at the most basic level, you can be grateful for the gift of your own life. And you can say, today is a new day, and I have a whole life ahead of me. And that may be a day, it may be a year, it may be 10, 20, 30 years. However much time you have, but you can be grateful for still having it, and you can live into that. And it's just shifting the perspective from all the things that you lost to all the things that you have. And then also, I think taking it a step forward is saying, what are the things that I can create? Where can I create a little bit more love in the world today? Who can I reach out to and say, you know what, thank you for supporting me during this process. Thank you for being there. Thank you just for being my friend. Thank you for whatever it is. And when you physically step into gratitude and you get yourself into the mindset of gratitude, there is a physical energy within your body that changes. And you can believe me or not, but if you write down 10 things that you are grateful for, even once, but I recommend doing it every day, it will absolutely change how you feel. It will change how you feel, and it will lift some of the pain that you feel. It will lift that heavy, that feeling like you have a cloud over your head that's following you that you can't, no matter where you go, you can't get rid of right now. And one of the ways to lift that cloud is to sit in gratitude. So this book you can get it on Amazon. It's called I Choose Joy. It's $18.95. She's got a new one that's coming out that I'm excited about. I don't know what's going to be in that one, but she adds to it. But this one, honestly, this one is amazing. So start with this. You don't necessarily have to wait for her new one that's coming out next week, because it will change your life. And there's so much, I've written it in red, in black, in blue. I've taken notes, things I want to remember, all the things that I learned. See, like here's one. You should be training for the life that you want or desire, right? When you're in your grief, you should be figuring out where you want to go. How do you want to feel? And do you want to get through your grief? Here's another one. What do you want to create? What if we could go faster? What if it could go easier, And it's interesting, I wasn't talking about grief when I was writing this in my journal, but it's like, what if you could grieve a little bit more quickly? Get to a point where you've come to acceptance around what has happened. What if your grief could be easier? What if it didn't have to be so hard? That's why I do this. I want to give you hope that absolutely you can get through this, and it doesn't have to be as hard as it was for me. It can be easier for you, and you can let people support you. You can let people help you, people who know how to. I want to be one of those people for you. And then thirdly, happiness is absolutely available, and gratitude is one of the ways that is going to move you toward a happier life, a happier way of being, an understanding of what this whole grief thing means to you in your life, and what can it mean for you moving forward. There's so much to it. And so I just want to leave you with, consider really stepping into a gratitude practice. And if you need support in really understanding why you do it, how you do it, what it should look like in the book, reach out and ask. And if you want me to text you and say, did you do your gratitude journal today? Absolutely, I will do that. You let me know, whatever it is that you need. But just remember that gratitude is receiving, and you deserve to receive right now, right? You've lost so much. You deserve to receive. And I hope that this video is that for you, and that you'll get the book and you'll start a gratitude practice. And honestly, I pray and I hope that it will transform your life the way it has for me. So have a fantastic day today. I hope that this helps. And keep on keeping on. You've got this. We can get through this. Take care.